Hello guys. Today we are going to get our hands dirty and messy with data. Okay. Oh yeah, I don't want to get my hands messy anyway, but yeah, because as a data analyst, that's obviously how you get to learn data cleaning, right? So I'm going to be explaining every step through the way, and I hope you can grab one or two with me today. So I'm definitely going to be cleaning a petroleum data set, specifically well-logged data set, right? And data set I'm cleaning is a white card well one, and then block 9 Nigeria contains 1250 rows. And just gonna dive in. So let me get my data from my files from text underscore, slash CSV. So right now I'm just going to use the dataset I used here. Kind of looking for that. So yeah, messy TOC underscore dataset. So that's the dataset I want to use for this. All right, so this has loaded up in here. Of course, what we are going to do is to transform the data. Every time you load your data from your data set from this Excel format, the format I just used, data gets data, and you do that, it's going to load up here because it has to open in Power Query for you to perform some data cleaning, data transformations, and all that. So just click transform data. All right, Power Query is loading up my data. My God, look at it. So here we go. Right? So we have a lot of things to clean here, but it's step by step. So just, be with me on the way. What we have here, these are columns of data 1 to 6. So not much, right? 1 to 6, and we have these rows of data here. Have this three rows of data here. This obviously doesn't look nice because um you're trying to clean this data and make it nice for use. So having these rows here and the next columns here, there are no values on that row, there are no values on these three rows. It kind of looks highly inconsistent and not well done, highly poorly done. So we have to just remove these three rows of data by using here, which is remove rows. So as you can see, say remove rows, choose the rows you want to remove. So click the small down arrow that is here. I don't know if you can see that, remove rows. So as you can see, once I click that, shows me plenty of options, right? But what I want to remove here is top rows. Yeah, so I'm just going to click top rows. And this is going to show me remove top rows. I should specify how many rows I want to remove from the top, right? Number of rows is 3, counting from here, like we did, right? So just click OK. And that is gone, right? So this looks cool, except next thing to look at is in cleaning this data, my columns are not named. It says column 1, and under here we have depth underscore info as the row 1. This is a bad data, right? Bad way of having names and all that. So we kind of obviously and this is consistent to column 6, right? Where you have here as TOC underscore, TOC percentage. So we kind of have to change this. And how do we do this? By saying use first rows at headers. So what this does is it just uses the first rows. This is row 1, which is first row. Instead of having column 1, this first rows will be replaced. The column 1 will be replaced with depth underscore info. The column 2 will be replaced with gamma. Column 3, same thing in column 4 down to column 6, right? So this is what we're going to do. So all you have to do is to click that, right? So nothing much. And you can also reverse the process because once you click this down arrow, drop down here, you can see use headers as first rows. You can reverse that. So let me do this. I can reverse what I did by coming down to say use headers as first rows, so it's reversed. Yeah, but I don't want to reverse that. So I just want to use the first rows as headers because that's what I want to do. Yeah, because I want to clean my data. Right. Very good. Let's come down here to this TOC percentage. I want to do something. You know, Let me reverse that to show you something. Reversing this, y- you know, um, shows something like this, but I don't know. I want to change the type. come down to this type here, demoted this. I want to, stop all of this to show you something very important. It's very important I show you this. It helps you to know what I'm trying to do. All right, good. Shows you what I'm trying to do here, right? Apart from the promoted header, right, you can see that this column here has percentage here. Some of them doesn't have percent. Some of them, yeah. I want to show you how to do that cleaning, but Power Query has already done that for me. But I don't want that, so I had to like cancel all of these steps here. As you can see where my cursor is, I canceled all these steps so that I can show you. I mean, I would have just left it because I know what it is, but Power Query just did that, but I just want to show you how it is done, right? So we're going to come down to this later on. So just be with me. So this next step here is to clean column by column. And so what we have here, we are seeing that some of these values here are highly inconsistent. Has like here, row 12 has 25,000, no, sorry, 2,583.5 meters. Of course, depths are measured in meters, but some of these have meters, some of them don't have meters. So what we have to do is to click on this column, depth info, and right click. Once you right click, you see you have replace values. There are other options here, but what we want to do is to replace values, right? So I'm going to tell you what replace values are. Replace values say replace one value with another in the selected column. So we have to write a value we want to replace. So what it does here is to find a value that we want to replace and then say what we want to replace it with. So here we want to find M, right? Because it's M we want to replace. We have M all over here, littered all over here. So, right? What do we want to replace it with? This is where we come here. Replace with um yeah, I know you're thinking about it. Replace with nothing, right? Because we just want to remove the M, right? It's highly inconsistent. Some of them have M, some don't. So just have to click OK, right? So you can see our M is gone. It disappeared. So this is it, right? So this looks cool, right? Okay. So let's go to the next column, which is gamma. Going to the next column. I can't find missing values here. I can also find maybe some values attached as numbers or something. No null values. It's kind of looks consistent. Yeah, but it's very important to understand that in this case, I don't really know what gamma means here for now, but yeah, that's where industry expert knowledge comes in. It's maybe like maybe this 76 is too high, maybe the limit supposed to have is 100, and here we're having 133.6, right? And all that. So but we're just gonna leave this like this until we consult expert here. That's where collaboration comes in. And of course, the use of our soft skills. Data analysts must obviously learn how to use the soft skills, very important. So the next one here is this value here, RH2B underscore MPHI, right? And you have 2.65, 2.465 underscore 3.322, 0.322, I mean. And it seems like we have these numbers consistently like this 2.31 underscore 0.42. And, seems like two values for me, just like how the column is here, the column header. I guess these are just RH2B, and this RH2B is the first number here. YNPHI is a number, next number after the underscore. So what we're going to do is going to split this column. Where's that? We're going to split this column, right? And there are several ways of splitting columns, either by delimiter or by number of characters or by positions. We can't use number of characters here because look at here. These characters are not consistent. We have 2.465, 2.32 consistent, 2.021. Okay, but if you go down, you're going to see we have 2.48. We also have here 2 points. So the number of decimal numbers, the number after the decimal first numbers, excuse me, the number after the decimal number for the first number is 2. This guy is 3, this guy is 3, so it's highly inconsistent. So we can't use number of characters for that. So there are several ways, either by positions, by lowercase, by several things there, but we're going to use by delimiter because we have underscore there. And using delimiter obviously says that delimiters are just, commas or underscore, semicolons. Okay, yeah, here we have them. Columns, comma, equal sign, semicolon, space, or even tab. So, but we don't have underscore there, so what we'll just have to do is here to write underscore in this column. We are specifying by which delimiter we are separating from. Okay, every other thing remains the same, right? So this is what we have here. This guy has fully separated, as you can see here. Like I said, I think this is just RHOB for the first number, and the second number is NPHI. And I'm just gonna have to separate the both of them. This is just my thinking, right? So like conserve my espace. Collaboration is important. So the next one here is the sonic underscore log, right? And all right, this guy has no data, So wherever you see no data or missing, I mean, it's highly inconsistent. We have to replace that with null values. That's what the system understands, okay? So we just need to do what we did before, right? Click, come here, replace values, and replace with no data. And what you're I mean, this is nonsense. Sorry. We're gonna write it here. Values to find, of course, is no data, and we should replace with nothing, right? No values. Okay. So this has fully done that. The next thing here is this resistivity. Resistivity here, obviously, I have knowledge on this. So we're going to have to look at these numbers that are too high. 96.6, 96.5, 79.6. This is from industry understanding. This is 80.0. Uh, quite too high. So we kind of have to separate this column to kind of put a check flag, right? Kind of put a check flag to this, and so that anywhere it sees a value greater than 50, should kind of write check, right? We have some other ones here. 147.4, that's kind of high. So what we want to do here is to have another column beside this resistivity to flag, to help those who are going to use this data just in case. Anywhere it sees any value greater than 50, what should you do is you check the value to make sure it's the correct value. So what we have to do here is to add a column here, then custom column. I know you can see my cursor, and the name of this should be resistivity and resistivity underscore flag. Yeah, because we want to flag that. And we just have to write a small conditional statement here that says if, right? If what? If here, this is it. If resistivity, you click here, come to the available column, as you can see by my right hand side, click that column you want to select. Of course, we are dealing with resistivity. If resistivity, right, now you saw that, is greater than 50, like I said, what should it do? And in fact, this guy here is very smart. It says token then expected. So the token expected is then if it's greater than 50, then what should happen? The next thing here, as you can see on the token side, it says we need a token literal here. So what should be displayed, right? It should be displayed in quotes. Check. It should be check, right? The person should check, right? Else. So this says else. Our next token expected is else. Else, what should happen? The next literal should be okay. So everything is okay, right? If resistivity is greater, this is greater than sign, greater than 50, right? Then it should check. Else should be okay. So this is gonna be all right. That's what we're gonna have. So that's kind of unexpected, right? Okay, we have an error here. So let's try to find. I mean, this is part of the digital cleaning process, but I mean, I didn't expect this, right? Resistivity underscore flag. Why is it showing error? Shows expression error. We cannot apply operator less than to types, number, and text. Okay, number and text, right? So yeah, number and text. So which means I'm trying to apply a conditional statement that evaluates a number, but it's performing on a text. All right, so that's where I have an issue. So this added column here, I'm going to have to like cancel that. right? Cancel that and come back here. So this is guy is in text, is in ABC, is in text format, has to be like a decimal number. All right, this should work now. Add column, custom column. All right, let's see how it goes. Resistivity. I'm going to be very fast on this now. Resistivity. Okay. Pardon me. Resistivity if resistivity. So remember what we did here, right? Greater than 50. Then check, check else. Okay. Right. So we got it. All right, here we go. Okay, I think that's kind of correct now, but I didn't specify that. I have to change this column name. Okay, has to be resistivity underscore flag. All right, here we go. So yeah, so this is actually greater than 50 checks, greater than 50 check, greater than 50 check. So this is quite okay. So this guy, yeah, coming back to this column where we said we had to do some coming back to this, right? So we want to remove this percent, because I mean percentage has already been stated here. That's here, as you can see on the column name, column header, right? So same thing on right click, replace values with percent. Good. Place that with percent. So everything now is looking okay. All right, here we go. So the next thing we do here is to obviously change these numbers to decimals. So as you can see, those guys which are in numeric formats, right? Decimal number formats. This guy are at the station at the right hand side of the column. This guy right hand side. This guy right hand side. But this guy is still in text format. So let's change this to decimal. Change this to decimal. Very important. Change this to decimal because they are numbers, right? Decimal numbers. And this guy's are decimal numbers. All right, this looks perfect now. So the next thing to check is, I mean, we have to remove duplicates, very important. So right click, especially starting from the first column, right click that, remove duplicates. This is it, remove duplicates. All right, duplicate numbers have been removed and we have to now sort this guy in ascending order. Very important. So it goes down from 2000 because it's depth, right? It's depth and the depth has to now be from ascending order. Ascending order. So from ascending order, you have 2599.5. And as you can see, our number of rows of data is 1200 now instead of 1250. So we've removed duplicate values of 50 rows of data. Okay, this looks cool, right? So I'm going to have to do something to this column header names. So this has to be like in meters, right? Very important. And okay, everything seems okay. I'm gonna leave it like this. So I hope you learned one or two, and I hope this was exciting for you. Thank you, and see you next time.